Motivation is not your friend. It shows up when you don't need it. It disappears the moment you do. And if you've built your entire life around waiting for it to show up, you've been set up to fail from day one. Here's what's actually happening inside your brain, and why the people who seem disciplined never had more motivation than you. They just stopped waiting for it. You know the feeling. Sunday night, you're fired up. New plan, new mindset, this time is different. By Wednesday, the fire is gone. You didn't get lazy. You didn't lose your goals. Motivation just left the building, like it always does. And instead of questioning motivation itself, you start questioning yourself. You think something is wrong with your willpower, your discipline, your character. Nothing is wrong with you. You just misunderstood what motivation actually is. Motivation is a feeling, not a resource, not a tool, a feeling, and feelings are chemical. Specifically, motivation is driven largely by dopamine, a chemical your brain releases in anticipation of something new, exciting, or rewarding. That's the key word. Anticipation. Dopamine spikes hardest at the start of something. New gym membership, new notebook for your new habit tracker, new version of you, launching Monday morning. That spike feels like motivation. It feels like fuel. But it was never meant to last. It was just a chemical reaction to novelty. And novelty, by definition, doesn't last. The second something becomes familiar, routine, repetitive, the dopamine drops. And so does the motivation you thought you had. This is why people who chase motivation stay stuck in the same cycle. Start strong. Feel amazing. Hit week 2. Feel nothing. Quit. Wait for the next wave of inspiration to strike. And repeat the whole cycle again. Disciplined people are not immune to this. Their dopamine drops too. They feel the exact same drag you feel on day 12 of a new habit. The difference is they stopped expecting motivation to carry them past day 1. Instead, they built something that doesn't rely on feeling ready. A system. A default behavior that runs whether the feeling shows up or not. Discipline, simply put, is this: doing the thing when the chemical reward isn't there to push you. That's genuinely the entire difference between people who follow through and people who don't. Not more willpower. Not superior genetics. Not some rare personality trait. They simply removed the requirement of feeling motivated from the equation entirely. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't wake up motivated to brush your teeth. You don't hype yourself up for it. You just do it because it's not a decision anymore. It's automatic. That's what discipline actually looks like once it matures. It stops being something you push yourself into, and it becomes something you just do. Picture two people starting the same goal. Both want to read more. Person 1 waits until they feel like reading. Some nights they do, most nights they don't. Because after a full day, motivation is the first thing to disappear. Person 2 decided something simpler. Every night 1 page before they're allowed to check their phone. Not 10 pages. Not a chapter. 1 page. Small enough that motivation is irrelevant. Feeling like it or not doesn't matter, because the bar is so low there's nothing to talk themselves out of. 6 months later, person 1 has read in bursts. A few weeks here, weeks of nothing there. Person 2 has read consistently for 6 months straight, because they never needed motivation to show up at all. The system did the work motivation was supposed to do. That's the actual mechanism behind every disciplined person you've ever admired. Not more inspiration. Just a system small enough and consistent enough that motivation became optional. So how do you actually use this? First, stop waiting to feel ready before you start something. That feeling was never coming to save you long-term anyway. Second, make the action smaller than your resistance. If a habit feels hard to start, it's not sized correctly yet. Shrink it until there's no real reason to skip it. Third, attach the habit to something that already happens automatically in your day. After coffee, after brushing your teeth, after sitting at your desk. This removes the need for motivation to initiate it, because something else is already triggering it for you. And finally, expect the drop. Know that week 2 is going to feel flat. That's not failure. That's just dopamine doing exactly what it's designed to do. The people who succeed aren't the ones who never feel that drop. They're the ones who keep going anyway, because they built something that doesn't depend on the feeling being there. Motivation was never designed to last. It's a spark, not a fuel source. Discipline is what you build after the spark burns out. And it's built through systems small enough that skipping them feels harder than doing them. Stop waiting to feel ready. Build something that doesn't need you to. If this shifted how you think about motivation, subscribe. Because this is exactly the kind of thing we break down here every week. No fluff, no hype, just the real mechanism behind why some people stay consistent and most people don't.